Once upon a time, in a peaceful village nestled at the edge of a mountain, there lived a humble water-bearer named Ravi. Every day, Ravi walked down a steep path to the river, filled his two large clay pots with water, and carried them back to his master's house. He did this routine faithfully day after day, under the golden sun and the quiet blue sky. On each end of the sturdy wooden pole he carried hung one pot. One of the pots was new and flawless. It held every drop of water, strong and perfect. The other pot, however, had a long crack running down its side. By the time Ravi returned home, this pot had leaked almost half of its water along the way. The cracked pot saw this every day, and with each passing trip, its heart grew heavier. 2 years passed like this. The perfect pot stood tall and proud, always delivering a full load of water. But the cracked pot lived with deep shame, feeling useless and broken. One sunny morning, while Ravi was hanging the pots on the pole, the cracked pot finally spoke, its voice trembling like a small child. "Ravi, I'm so sorry," it said quietly. The water-bearer looked at the pot with kind eyes. "Sorry? For what, my friend?" The pot lowered itself a little, almost as if bowing in shame. "I've been leaking water for years. You work so hard, but I can never deliver a full load. My crack wastes your effort. Because of me, you don't get the full value of your work. I feel so useless." Then, instead of scolding the pot, he smiled gently. "Tomorrow," he said, "I want you to look carefully at the path we take to the river and back." The pot was confused but agreed. The next morning, Ravi lifted the pole onto his shoulders as usual. The two pots swayed side by side as he walked along the familiar dusty road toward the river. This time, the cracked pot kept its eyes open. The morning sun bathed the village in golden light. Birds sang on the treetops. And along the path on its side, the pot noticed something it had never really seen before. Rows and rows of blooming flowers, colorful and alive. Daisies, marigolds, tiny wildflowers dancing in the breeze. On the other side where the perfect pot hung, the path was dry and bare. But on the cracked pot's side, the ground was lush with green and sprinkled with life. As they returned from the river, the cracked pot continued to observe. Every step it took, drops of water leaked through its crack and fell gently onto the earth. And as the sunlight hit those drops, they sparkled like tiny diamonds. When they reached home, Ravi carefully set down the pole. The cracked pot, still confused but curious, asked, "Ravi, why are there flowers on my side of the path?" Ravi's eyes softened. He gently touched the pot and said, "2 years ago, I noticed your crack. And instead of throwing you away, I decided to plant flower seeds along your side of the path. Every day as you leaked water, you unknowingly watered those seeds. For 2 years, I've been picking those beautiful flowers to decorate my master's table. Because of you, the house has been filled with color and joy. Because of your crack, something beautiful has grown." The pot was speechless. For the first time in years, it didn't feel broken. It felt proud. Tears of joy welled up in the cracked pot's eyes. "So, all this time, my flaw wasn't just a mistake?" Ravi nodded. "No. Your flaw made the path beautiful. You may not have carried as much water as the other pot, but you gave something it never could." From that day on, the cracked pot walked its journey differently. It didn't try to be like the perfect pot. It simply embraced its unique path, knowing that its weakness had become a source of life for others. Sometimes we look at our flaws and think they make us less worthy. We compare ourselves to others who seem perfect and feel broken inside, but often our so-called weaknesses are exactly what make us special. Just like the cracked pot, we may be watering flowers we can't even see yet. Moral of the story: your flaws do not define your worth. Sometimes they are the reason beauty grows in the world. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring life stories. You never know. One story might be the seed of hope someone else needs.